Yume Nikki Dream Diary is the prolific RPG maker game made by Kikuyama and released in 2004 that started a colossal cult following and inspired many fan games and surrealist games. Dreams are very open-ended when it comes to how it makes us feel. They can be fun, they can be scary, they can be weird, they can be... Let's not talk about that. Yume Nikki was vast, mysterious, weird, unnerving. It gave you a world to explore and experience the way you wanted. I remember the first time I played the game, went to a door. Oh, this one looks cool. Oh, nope. Unlike the games of nowadays, you're not being swayed to feel a feeling. You can just feel what you feel without the chance of feeling awkward from the character feeling something different. Just sitting there bawling at something that is clearly supposed to be sad. I mean, what would make me cry at this guy? Just a goof rubbing a handrail. As you walk through the world, you can see all kinds of different worlds and characters. You just walk along minding your own business and suddenly you're in the stomach of Satan with the tummy rumbles. Like, what the heck, dude? I was just stepping on this kitty face making it go all puru, and this is what I get? The world envelops you and gets you invested and interested. The more time you spend exploring a world, the more attuned you are to getting all snug and familiar. Which means the more you're attuned, the more of an impact a world change will be. Every place in Yume Nikki is interesting, even the normal ones. Ever been out in the docks in the middle of the sea? Probably not. Ever been to the forest at night with these wiggle squiggle ghosts drooling on you? If you have, then please keep your occult rituals to yourself, thank you very much. This flip-flop of atmosphere keeps us going and going, but seeing the same place over and over can be boring. Well, except when you see the secrets. Back then, secrets were actually secrets. I was told that if you grind around in the main hideout and Jet Set Radio 10 times without touching the ground, you get a new character. I never unlocked that character though. This game is decently old, and there weren't as many people online back then as there is now. So chances are, you weren't able to Yahoo search what secrets Yume Nikki holds. Other things can be fun and silly, but here, you don't seem out of place. One, because you are in a dream, and two, they just fit in with their surroundings. You're never taken out of the game feel, cause nothing ever takes you out of it. Except for me. I got spooked by a rave monkey. The volume was too loud, okay? I swear, I'm not weenie. Okay, so the world is all cool and all with your spinning hand girl, but what does it all mean? Nothing. Probably. I don't know. I'm no neuro-low-polytheist. Why did I write that? Our minds are weird things. They make us scared of spiders, or attracted to them with all their legs and... Crap, I said no talking about this. Brains are weird. What's weirder is our subconscious. You ever have those dreams that must not be spoken of? No, not those. The other kinds. The weird ones, yeah. How do we think those up? We don't. Our brains just do. The Japanese are weird enough, and we've seen how much weirder with their dream simulators. Where am I going with this? Dreams don't have a defining meaning. We can assume or guess, but nothing will tell us the very definite reasoning. We are left to simply interpret things as we do. How do I interpret this game as a whole? Well, it's a girl, lonely and afraid. Afraid of the outside world and of the past. Going out is too hard and it's easiest to just stay where you are and do nothing about it. But that leads to a wandering mind. With being shut out from the outside world, there's nothing much to think about but the past. Some happy, some wondrous, but most, very scary, uncomfortable, unfamiliar. Along the way, you've been through many phases in life, and many places that have helped influence how you change at that point. But there is one feeling that never leaves you: loneliness. Throughout your whole journey, you just felt alone. No one to come with you, no one to guide you, no one to aid you, no one. I don't know who to turn to, I don't know what's going on outside, I don't know where to start. I don't have anything to go after. I don't know. Or she's just some lazy NEET that doesn't want to bother. Either way, both answers can be right. The game is a wordless picture book for you to make a story for. Yume Nikki Drain Diary, developed by Kadokawa Corp, is the reimagining of that game, set in a hybrid side-scroll top-down perspective with a great emphasis on horror, linearity, and puzzles. This may have the themes of Yume Nikki, but doesn't mean it was obligatorily bound to the same style. But just because it's not bound doesn't mean it was the right choice. Double D has many issues, but I'm going to focus on two: exploration and storytelling. OG, as I've said, lets you explore the world of your own will. That gives the world a certain feel of individuality. The way you have little to no effect on anything shows how you are just going through a world and nothing else. Double D is semi-linear. You have the option to go through half the world, but the other half is restricted until you get the umbrella. This makes you more of an influencer than an observer. It does fit the newer ending thing, spoiler, but feels off as a whole in the game. Also, the side-scrolling parts are long, stupid, and pointless because if there is no new scenery or obstacles, then there is no purpose in making you walk a minute plus with the same background. Now the story is a product of the new times of glorified horror. With the new horror indie game made every other minute, it's no wonder they made this decision. OG knew the diversity of dreams, and that a normal or a surreal dream can have just as much impact as a nightmare, and that the nightmares and dreams can both assist in amplifying that feeling each dream can evoke. In the original, it's a girl living her life day to day, but in Double D, it's a girl eternally haunted by her past. What Double D fails at the most is establishing its own individuality. The most disappointing part of the whole game. Each ending of an area has not added anything other than feeding the unrightful horror title of Yume Nikki. There's the spook Yoboa, the boohoo rapist Kyun Kyun, and the Lights Out knockoff. Seriously, where'd that come from? It's generic. And the flowers, which was the only good ending. It's the only good ending because it's different. One of the key things in horror are moments of relief. In a horror, if you have constant spooks, you get desensitized to it and the fear starts to fade. By adding breaks, you give the player moments to rest and refresh. That's why it burns more when you drink milk after gouging down spicy food. You're hurting yourself, but that's what makes it fun. The only breaks you get are when you wake up. If you were forced to save at the desk, then you'd have the time to take a breather, maybe check out the concept art that you gathered. But because there's no need for anything in the room, you just go straight back to bed. So when I got to the flowers, I liked it a lot because I felt relaxed. Not because the game's scary, but it's annoying. Not counting the block roll, of course, because it's actually really, really good. I'm judging only by release. And the story it's trying to tell feels like it's forcing a narrative. There's a girl. Why am I helping her? Why am I crying at inflatable tube janitor? What's the dark Pac-Man thing? Why they help the village? Who chases a rolling paint can in the mall during graveyard shift? What was with Oboa? Why am I in the mannequin factory? Seriously, what's with the mannequin factory? All of these reactions and tasks for her takes away from my interpretation and reaction. It turns it into just Mado's story, not mine. I feel really out of place and unwelcomed in it, and put into the position of an audience, not a participant. It has its own strengths, but overall, it loses a lot of where it tries to add. I had high hopes for the game, but it didn't have the sort of impact that its predecessor had. The biggest insult that I cannot forgive is in its claim to having Kiko on the team. If Kiko were to, then he'd out himself and lose the anonymity that he has and maybe wants. And also, what can one random man say against a whole corporation? I have a feeling that he was lost in the earthquakes years ago, which makes these assumptions even more infuriating. What makes me feel better about this whole thing though, is that this soulless game didn't do well, and the fan base stood strong and united during this time. One guy even packed up all the fan games listed and distributed it before Kato took them down, just in case they tried. I didn't see a video like this, so I thought I'd share my thoughts on the faults. But I doubt it'll have much impact, especially with how much a game's been criticized already. Thankfully, there are more games like Goji that I plan to play, if I'm ever able to get .flow to work on my dang 3DS. At least Tuki works decently well. I have a lot of love for the game, and I wish I helped it regain some dignity from Double D. Later, Gator.